Okay, more torches.
Here to torches.
Yep, got some. Just need to.
Have you seen that latest mod from iChun, who does the Portal gun mod? The Torch Bazooka.
No.
It's a gun, and you basically load it with as many torches as you want. When you fire it, it fires off and then explodes and scatters torches everywhere.
Oh man.
I watched one guy caving with it, and he's just walking ahead and shooting the darkness in the distance, and the torches are going up there and scattering out everywhere.
Sure.
A torch spam even Mindfiend approves of.
But that was a long-winded answer to your question.
Yeah, but it answered it though.
But yeah, that's the difference between Forge. Forge is a mod that you run the actual Mojang server, and then you run the Forge mod, and then all the mods that Forge uses basically call Forge,
Yeah.
and use Forge to do their thing. In the case of Bukkit, Bukkit is an actual server program. And then you've got, stuff like Spout, which takes it a level further. Spout is a modification of that. Grew out as a modification of Bukkit, as a Bukkit plugin, and it's actually, ever since them, just like the Forge guys, had Forge guys and Flower Child had their Falling Apart, and some other guys. Same kind of thing with Spout. Spout's kind of had a falling apart with Bukkit, and have set out to create their own server emulator called Spout.
Yeah.
Which will then emulate the Minecraft server as well.
I'll have to head back and empty up my inventory again.
Because the Spout guys want to do more stuff than what Bukkit will allow you to do. And I mean, Spout runs some really neat stuff. They truly do.
What? They want you to allow you to modify it even more or something? Or?
Yeah, Spout allows you to modify a lot more that the Bukkit guys don't want to do. Because Bukkit doesn't want to do Spout has when you run Spout, for instance, you have to run a server client as well. You can't just run vanilla Minecraft installation and connect to, like with Bukkit. Bukkit does all this stuff server side. Spout, you have server and client mods that you have to have. You have to run the Spout client mod, the Spout client, to join to a Spout server. But that allows you to do stuff like have custom music in the game, various other kind of custom effects and all. There was one, I think the last time I went and looked at the Spout stuff, the big thing that they had added in that was really cool was they had the bulletin boards, which were web pages. A guy had coded, I believe it was under Spout, and you had you could come up and you put a bulletin board on the wall, and it looked a lot like putting a painting on the wall. But when you did that, you had it was basically a web interface.
Right.
A web page interface, so that you were sitting there and you could actually you'd hook it when you put it on the wall. You'd set it up and you'd give it a web page address. In this case, they were using it to show, like the one that I saw was using it to put up the server rules, so that instead of having a room this size with signs all over the place saying, rule number 1, rule number 2, that kind of stuff, you just have something like one of these paintings. You'd walk up and click on it, and it would throw up a web page right there on the painting area, in which you could scroll back and forth and use other links in it and all that sort of thing without leaving the game. And
wow.
that was something under Spout.
mean, it's amazing, isn't it, how so many different people want to play the game so differently.
So many different ways, yeah. And it's still identifiable as Minecraft.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, after, on top of all that, you're still playing Minecraft.
It's hard to remember what this place was like when we first got here, and there was the abandoned mine shaft everywhere, and it was still dangerous. Sometimes I AFK in here without even bothering to wall myself in or anything.
Phew. You still take it further than I do. I don't even do that in the museum.
Oh, well. It's a case of knowing where the slimes can get to and where they can't. Oh, you know what we forgot again?
Forgetting iron block again?
It's you. You're not reminding me. Did you get some torches?
Nah, I'm just making the torches as I go.
No. Well, by all means, because I can never possibly use up all the coal now when one piece will smelt me about 22.
And that's the other thing. Usually I've got a stack of charcoal on me too. That's one thing playing all that Tekkit and all did was it taught me to use charcoal a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's an infinite resource, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coal, not necessarily infinite.
Yeah, but doesn't really make a difference here because there's nothing on vanilla that you can use coal for that you can't use charcoal. You know, there's no special purposes for coal.
Yeah.
Charcoal won't work just as good. Alrighty.
You carry on that side and I'll start back here on this one and work out long.
Alrighty.
It's just difficult to comprehend, though, really, how long, this server's been up now. It's just like you said the other night. By Minecraft standards, this world is ancient.
Mm-hmm. Which is one reason I'm planning on booting up County Gnarlo tonight.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to see some County Gnarlo videos.
Yeah. I've got one just about finished. I just need to get around to finishing it.
What, finish making it or finish uploading it?
Finish making it. It's mostly done. I've got like 4 or 5 minutes left I've got to record. You keep Frank so busy. It was hard to find time in his schedule to come over and work.
We've got Frank there. I don't know what to call the one down in the basement. I feel really sorry for him that he's been there all this time. I thought he got killed long ago. But he's been down there tirelessly slaying slime. I think I'll call him Sellers.
Trying to sit here thinking why I've got the Love Boat song running through my head. Okay, I figured it out.
Go on.
Alright, goes like this. Sellers. I think Peter Sellers.
Yep.
I think the party.
Yeah.
Him doing the Indian in the party.
Mm-hmm.
I think of actors who portrayed Indians or some such. I think of Mike Myers, which reminds me of the Love Guru, which brought up the Lobos.
Your mind is a very disturbed place.
At least I didn't take it the step further and start seeing pictures of Captain Steubing in leather again. The medication is helping there. Therapy has helped me through that one. 288 mining skill.
Yay! I remember a time when mining skill used to go up.
What are you at now? Figured you had to be like, I remember a time like whenever there was mining skill that could go up.
Yeah. I think I'm 958 or so.
Wow.
Slash mining, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. 958. I've got 13,000 of 20,000 experience points for ready to go to the next level.
Wow. So essentially, if you're not mining diamond or obsidian, you might as well just forget it.
It does put it up, doing all this cobble, which is basically how I've got it up there, digging out all this stuff.
Oh, it does. You still got the X number of points. It's just you need so many points per level now.
Yeah. But it would be nice to get it to maxed out, though.
Yeah. That would be.
But, I mean, look at how much I've dug out of here. I've dug out, the whole ground all that way along for 128 blocks or whatever from here out that way. And I'm still not at maximum level. So how the hell you're ever supposed to get something like, say, taming or, something else up to max level? Can't believe what you'd have to do that. And it's not always a blessing. Sometimes it's a curse. I'm getting double drops on all these cobbles, so...
Mm-hmm. And getting the iron that smelts itself.
Yep. Oh, I'm glad you said that. Just as you said iron, I revealed 2 more pieces of iron. Yay!
Well, I could probably go in the config file and turn that off.
Yeah, but getting it the other way around, I can't complain when it works the other way around and I get the double drops, double smelts.
Yeah, look through that bucket list sometime when you get a chance and see if there's anything in there that you think is fun and would like to maybe see on the server.
Well, I mean, I'm happy with the server as it is. The only thing that would make my life easier is some sort of ability to make portals of some sort, so that can get to the Skylands without taking a 4-minute drive first of all to be able to.
You can already do that. You just need to tell me, what we're going to come up with to, or if we want to come up with anything to make the portals out of.
Oh well, yeah, totally. But I mean, it's different for what is expensive for me to make it. What is expensive for you, because.
Well, it's not expensive so much as we just need to establish something that we,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a case of breaking anyone's bank here or anything like that. We just don't want to, I'm tired of walking from one side of the hive to the other. I'm going to put up a portal that takes me,
Oh yeah, no, not that. Definitely not. No, I mean you can you can do it the game so you exploit it so much that sometimes there's absolutely no point. I don't see the point, which has always been. Oh, stop smelting yourself. Which has always been my thing with that equivalent exchange mod, which is if you're just going to change one thing into another, then why aren't you playing in creative? Oh, come on, 4 in a row, you rotten thing.
Yeah, and that's why I was glad to see them changing the equivalent exchange so that it was no longer loss proof.
Yeah.
The guy's going on that's always like he said himself, he was upset with it. He was like feeling the same thing. He said, that's the one thing, the whole energy condenser and the whatever it was, energy converter, I guess.
Hmm.
He said that even that was the one part of the mod that even he considered to be most unhappy with, and the part that the most people complained about being overpowered, and he pretty much agreed with him. I'm sitting here, I've got the new base stone texture on. It's not my final, but it's the basic.
Yeah.
Here I've been experimenting with the two. I think I definitely still want to go with the 32, the 32 by 32 textures, I think, for my basic blocks, because that just seems, whenever I go 64, I've got two versions of this one's 32, and I've got another version that's 64 by 64.
Right.
And the 64 by 64 just looks too smooth. I can't really explain it. If it's something like, I know, isn't SFAC 64?
Stacks you can have at any sort of size. You can have 64, you can have 128.
I think the ones I've seen are the 64s, and the one that I've used. And it fits it, though, because it's meant to be that way. It's meant to, when you're cartoony like that, 64 is better because it just means you can add on more detail. And with the cartoony textures and the really bright, smooth colors and stuff, it looks better. Being smooth looks fine. But this right here, when I'm not going for realism, but I'm going for something more believable.
Yeah.
I think that's the term that the terra firma guys have used, and I like their use of that term. They said, we're not, with terra firma, they're not going for realism, they're going for believability. And I like that. That's the kind of way the textures I want. I don't want them to be realistic textures, because then I'd just take a picture and bring it over. I just crop a photo.
Yes.
So I don't want realism, but I want textures that look believable. And grungy and grimy and moldy and cracked and slime ridden and all that kind of stuff, to match the way the hive looks. So there's a purpose behind it. And whenever I went to the 64 by 64, it just didn't do that. Now, I think on the constructed blocks, I probably will stay there. Like crafting tables or furnaces and that kind of stuff. I've got a feeling those will all go 64 by 64 to get the level of detail.
Yes.
Because they should be. They're actual made blocks. They should be more detailed and more smooth looking and all.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I totally agree with you on that. Again, if you're going to do it, why not? I've never had a problem with mixing different texture levels. I know when I did that first LP on Creeper Island and everything, people were saying, like, do you know you've still got 8-bit textures there with this? And, well, yeah, because I actually liked it.
Yeah.
The whole point was textures you like.
Exactly. And so far for the basic blocks, I'm finding that, the 32s are good for me. 64s, I don't know. There's just something about the size of the blocks that, for me personally, it doesn't look right.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you used Sortex in Feed the Beast, how did you find the caves and everything, with everything being like this really smooth stone? You know, I found it was like pristine, really.
Exactly.
Just uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. It's something that I can't put a finger on it while I'm playing. You know, because in even Sortex, you know, when you got a pack like that and everything has been changed to that, you know, it all fits together. You know, it's not like this where everything else in this pack is 32, and when I'm running the 64 stone, you can really tell the difference. You know, the stone looks really super smooth.
Yeah.
But even when you're running something like Sortex, which is, you know, the entire pack is in 64, and so all the textures fit together. It's like you said, there's something you can't really put your finger on. It's just everything looks a little too smooth, a little too regular. It's not really a conscious thing so much as it's a subconscious thing.
Yeah. Yeah.